the first, the universal and unqualified brotherhood of man, is a dead letter, for he believes that only himself and his chosen associates can be saved. For the second, the materialist, the recognition of the divine architect of the universe, in Masonry, as the principle of principles, and belief in the immortality of the soul, will prove an equal stumbling block. Fortunately, the number of bigoted sectarians and the out-and-out materialists is few. The historical deficiency referred to is by no means without a parallel. That superstructure known as Christianity has, it is true, many historical phases of dogmas, the most contradictory of doctrines promulgated in one age, and enforced with viceregal authority, and severe penalties for denial and disbelief, only to be denied and repudiated as damnable heresy in another age. In the meantime, the origin of these doctrines and the personality of the man of sorrows around which these traditions cluster receive no adequate support from authentic history. What, then, shall we conclude regarding the real genius of Christianity? Is it all a fable, put forth and kept alive by designing men, to support their pretensions to authority? Are historical facts and personal biography alone entitled to credit? While everlasting principles, divine beneficence, and the laying down of one's life for another are of no account? Is that which has inspired the hope and brightened the lives of the downtrodden and despairing for ages a mere fancy, a designing lie? Tear every shred of history from the life of the Christ, today, and prove beyond all controversy that he never existed, and humanity, from its heart of hearts, would create him again tomorrow and justify the creation by every intuition of the human soul and by every need of the daily life of man. The historical contention might be given up, ignored, and the whole character, genius, and mission of Jesus, the Christ, be nonetheless real, beneficent, and eternal, with all of its human and dramatic episodes. Explain it as you will, it can never be explained away. The character remains, and whether historical or ideal, it is real and eternal. This digression serves to illustrate The Templar degrees are purely sectarian, and can in no sense claim that universal character which recognizes the fraternity of all religions, and finds fellowship with all men, as brothers of one common humanity. No genuine Mason, imbued with the spirit of liberality, will treat any religion with derision or contempt, or exclude from fellowship any brother who believes in the existence of God, the brotherhood of man, and the immortality of the soul. This Catholic spirit is the very foundation of Masonry, and any departure from it is un-Masonic, and subversive of the ancient landmarks and genius of Masonry. If the Catholic priests have the right to Christianize Masonry, so have Jews, Buddhists, or Mohammedans, an equal right to transform it to fit their own creeds, and such transformation in every case deprives Masonry of its universal character. While it cannot benefit the creed to which Masonry is made to conform, it will, in the end, destroy Masonry itself. True Masonry has, for ages, held aloft the torchlight of toleration, equity and fraternity. The bigoted sectarian, whoever he may be, divides the world into two classes: those who, with zeal and blind faith, accept his dogmas, and those who do not. The first he calls brothers, the second class he regards as aliens, if not enemies. Masonry, while adopting no religion and no form of doctrine or creed as such, or as formulated by any one religion, recognizes certain basic principles embodying the ethics taught in all religions. Every Mason may formulate his creed to suit himself, and may institute such forms of worship as may seem to him desirable or beneficent. Now that the old creeds are everywhere losing their hold and falling in pieces, it is more than ever necessary to show that one of these have ever been a legitimate part of Masonry, that while Masonry antagonizes none, it can adopt none as Masonic. This impartial spirit is the basis of that impartial justice illustrated in more than one Masonic degree. The distinction between the esoteric and exoteric doctrines, a distinction purely Masonic, was always and from the very earliest times preserved among the Greeks. It remounted to the fabulous time of Orpheus. And after the time of Alexander they resorted for instruction, dogmas, and mysteries, to all the schools, to those of Egypt and Asia, as well as those of ancient Thrace, Sicily, Etruria, and Attica. The real source from whence the ancient wisdom came was Persia and Old India, the mother of civilizations and religions, and of the esoteric and concealed wisdom. In this book it is not attempted to explain all of the symbols of Freemasonry, or to completely unfold the philosophy of the secret doctrine. Such an undertaking would transcend both the time and ability of the author. The aim is rather to show a few points of contact, to outline methods of interpretation, to convince the unbiased reader that in the ancient mysteries lies a mine of wisdom far beyond all modern achievement, and to invite the cooperation of Masons in upholding these ancient truths. To recover the lost word is to revive the ancient wisdom, and this will facilitate universal fraternity and universal progress, more than all other agencies now in our possession. In its ritualism and monitorial lessons, Masonry teaches nothing in morals, in science, in religion, or in any other department of human knowledge or human interest, not taught elsewhere in current forms of thought, or by the sages of the past.